What's up, guys? Welcome to my video recapping the Berkeley Hills Road Race. Let's get into this. So before we start, I just wanted to say big shout out to Berkeley Bicycle Club for putting on a great race weekend. These are always fun races and super well run. But the race course for this Berkeley Hills race, it goes around this Three Bears loop, which is a really famous East Bay area route. And it consists of the mama bear, the papa bear, and the baby bear. And these climbs on their own, like if you're just out there doing Three Bears loop, they aren't too bad. It can be windy, but it wasn't too windy today, and they're not too bad. It's about 3 minutes for the mama bear, 5 minutes or so for the papa bear, and then 1 or 2 minutes for the baby bear. But after a 90-mile road race, they definitely start stinging the legs. But our plan going into this was to work for this rider in front of me, Travis, who's just scurrying up there. He is a local, and he came to me and my teammates a few weeks ago and was like, "Yo guys, I wanna win this one." And he has the correct rider profile for this. He's a pretty good climber and also a punchy guy. So we were gonna sell out for him and put our eggs in his basket and see how we did. My specific job was to kind of mark things, kind of catch and kill, I guess, breakaways, and we had an idea of who was going to animate the race. The main one that I was thinking about was Nate English, who is also a local around here, and he's a former professional. He's won this race a bunch of times. He's ridden like the Tour of California and stuff. He's that caliber of rider. And he definitely is one of those guys that if he gets away in a breakaway, that it's dangerous. He can go the distance. So I was watching him all day and just marking things, and that it was hard. This was some of my highest normalized power for the 4-ish hours that I've ever done. So it takes a worthy winner to conquer this race. So let's get into this. And I gotta say, my GoPro, I need to practice filming road races. I kind of filmed weird spots, and unfortunately my GoPro ran out of battery, or it wasn't on during the pivotal things. But I'm gonna go through and kind of like tell the story of the race and give some pointers for a hilly road race like this that I learned, because I definitely don't consider myself a climber, but I did pretty well to survive. And let's get into this. So I'm not going to overlay data for this day. It's just the clips are too disjointed, and it would take me like 6 years to do it. So if you're interested in my power and my speed and everything like that, I will link the Strava activity for this day. And feel free to follow me. I like following you guys back. I think it's cool. People all around the world are watching these videos, and I'm down to keep up with your guys' training and everything. I'll link the Strava. But back to the race. So we just finished the second lap. So the actual finish of the race is on that Papa Bear climb. It's right at the top there. We just finished the second lap, and I had been working a fair amount. I broke away solo for about 3 or 4 minutes, not a super long time. But I was definitely warming up the legs. And my first tip for this type of race is, so we finished that climb and we have this really fast, this is like a 50-mile-an-hour downhill. And a couple times I actually would form a little group. I think on the first lap we even got as much as 50 seconds on the field on the climb. So I think I was in a break of like 3 or 4, and the moto ref said, "Hey, you have 57 or 50 seconds." And I was thinking, oh great, like we probably can stretch this out. but the field will take this descent so much faster than a group of 3 or 4. And the reason is kind of what I'm doing right here. There's this like slingshot effect where people are kind of like jumping into the draft of someone and then slingshotting around, and then someone does that on you. And yeah, it makes the field go way faster. So with that breakaway attempt on the first lap, I think they closed the 50 seconds within this downhill, which is insane. Like the downhill is only like 2 minutes long or something. I don't know. The motor ref, his time checks may not have been super duper accurate. But yeah, do your best to stay with at least like a group of 5 or so riders so you guys can start slingshotting around each other and take the descent faster. I know in like World Tour racing, you always hear about riders using the descents to get back on, but I think what the cameras aren't showing is that they oftentimes have like a little gruppetto to do that sort of slingshotting around. It almost makes it seem like they do it solo, but I don't think that's the case. So yeah, do your best to stay with the group over the top of the climbs. So we jump forward to I guess it's like the Valley Road before the major climbs on the third of 5 laps. And I didn't catch it on camera, but basically what happened is Nate English, who I spoke about before, attacked, and this is Nate in front of me, and he got a pretty good gap. And I looked back and I saw none of my Terun teammates were in a good position to respond, so I decided to grit my teeth and make a bridge. So I bridged up to this group of 3. I was the 4th, and so we had a Bicycle Law, which I think is like a SoCal team. I didn't know that guy. A Dolce Vita rider. They're like the yellow and blue kits, named Virgilio. I knew he was really strong. Nate. And then actually up ahead, there's one more rider that we caught on the climbs. But I knew this was a pretty dangerous move. And Nate he was the main guy that we were watching out for. So I was kind of happy to be in this breakaway, but I decided really early on I was not going to work. I wanted to try to maybe let this get a bit of a gap and then become like a dead weight on the breakaway, and hopefully teams like Mike's Bikes and the other strong riders back in the field would have to work to chase us down, while Travis and my other teammates could rest and save energy for that final push to the finish line. So without giving any spoilers away, people were not super happy about that. I think I told them early on as we were rolling up to Mama Bear, and this is hard. I'm definitely feeling it. I think all these guys are way more gifted climbers than me. But yeah, I was not going to work, and I told them, I'm like, yo, I have a teammate behind, and most of them were pretty okay with that. I think they understood. And I should say, Nate, he's like a new father. I talked to him at the beginning of the race, and he hasn't been training at all, and he's like doing this to us. So it just goes to show. He actually has a great YouTube channel. Search Nate English. He's like really has some great insights on physiology and training, and I'm a big fan. So I'm in this breakaway. I'm kind of like just trying to hold on, allow my teammates to sit in. I think this Bicycle Law guy in front, he drops. We drop him on this climb, and yeah, I just kind of try to buckle up and survive this breakaway. All right, next tip about these climbing road races is if you're not super confident in your climbing ability, it actually might be easier to be in a breakaway. So the thought behind that is when you're in the field, a lot of people are sitting in on the flats and around the quote unquote easier parts of the courses. And so when you hit the climbs, they're really going to nuke it. Whereas if you're in the breakaway, everyone's kind of out in the wind more, and they're actually probably going to ride the climbs a little bit more even. Don't get me wrong, it's not like a cakewalk at all. Like, we're still doing a VO2 type effort here, and Nate is pushing the pace, obviously. And I think we actually just dropped that bicycle law guy. But yeah, think about maybe getting in a breakaway, and it can honestly help your teammates out more than just getting dropped from the fields. So we are just cresting the Papa Bear, and you can see those two riders up there. One is Nate. He pushed the pace up the Papa Bear, and it popped me and Virgilio to my left. And we had to work really hard to catch back on the descent, but we managed to do it. And so we formed a break of 4, and we worked together for a couple minutes. Keep in mind, so we have 1 lap to go at this point, and I'm sitting on. And the only thing I'll say is, if you're sitting on, you have to have a thick skin. You have to be ready for people to not be super happy about it. And I've been around, I've had people sit on moves that I'm in, and I'm pretty used to it. So I think I do have that thick skin. And so basically what happened was, this rider in white, that's with Nate up there, he actually ended up taking me off the back of the breakaway. So here we are dropped because he let a gap open up, and was like, look, I'm going to ruin your race if you're not going to work for us in the breakaway. And I was like, okay, I will go back to the field and help my teammates, who are hopefully pretty fresh at this point, chase back the remainder of the breakaway. And then I have 100% faith that my teammate Travis is going to finish it off. And that is exactly what happened. So we were so excited. I gotta say, it's like a special feeling to do this big team effort and have your guy that you chose to be your man at the start of the race finish it off. So super props to my Tevrun Elite teammates, Zach, Gabriella, Matt, and of course super big props to Travis, because you have to be a monster to win one of these races. He was saying he was fighting cramps. And basically what happened up the Papa Bear, it's just this long drag, especially on that last lap. And he was able to just kind of do this long attritional sprint and take home the W. So yeah, it was an amazing feeling. We were on cloud 9. It all felt like we won the race. But just a little note about like sitting on a move and quote unquote negative racing. I'm a big fan of the Lantern Rouge, and he always talks about employing the best strategy to win the race, like the highest probability. And I honestly think if I worked in that breakaway, I just would have been towing Nate to a win. So I stand by, sitting on that move and taking my licks, and I'm super happy that it worked out and Travis was able to come away with the W. So yeah, we're pretty excited. And the next day after this race was a criterium, and the 2 races together were an omnium. So we came out and we're ready to defend Travis's omnium lead. So stay tuned for that video. It's called the Berkeley Hills Criterium. I'm working on that one as we speak. And yeah, thanks for tuning in and subscribing, y'all. I will see you in the next one real soon.